This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, all. Like my name is Idris. Today we're gonna be discussing on the topic called as iterators. Okay, so iterator is one of the important topic. Without iterators, Python is nothing, right? What happens is like Python is like all the things are the object, right? For example, you can tell it as something like this list. You can take it 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And this is the object, and you don't have an indexing here. Okay, for this the indexing is given by the iterators, right? By the iterators. So how it going to use it, right? So that is very important. In Java you will use something called as for each loop, right? So for each loop it will give the indexing for that, and you can go in single direction and bi direction also, right? That is what the iterator is, right? So you have two things of it. Oh, today is 4th. Okay, the date. I'll just write the date. Today is 4th December, 4th December 20. Yes, 4th December 20. Okay, so you have iterator over here, and iterator is going to help you like to give the indexing for this. Okay, so you have for loop Nasir, right? So you to if for example you tell that a is equals to, you will tell like this, right? So 1 2 3 4, and what you will do it, you will simply tell for I in a, you will tell it, and you print I, right? The output of I is nothing but 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Now how it is giving 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 without indexing, how this for loop is running, right? That is very important to know about it. Okay, this for is calling two methods, guys. Okay, this for is calling two methods. One is two methods in the sense it is invoking a magic method, right? The one magic method name is iter, other one magic method is next. Okay, this iter will give the indexing. Okay, it will tell from which index I want to start it. In the sense it will give the cursor to the object, right? There is an object here. It is a 1, it is linking to here. There is a 2, it is linking to here. It is a 3, it is linking to here. It is a 4, it is linking to here, right? For this it will give a cursor, right? So I want to start from 0 1 2. For example, you look onto the linked list, guys. Linked list data structures, which we have discussed it, right? In the video we have it, right? So for more, you have it in the video. We have find out the length also, right? Does the linked list has the address, guys? It doesn't has the address, right? Because it's an object doesn't have the index, right? So we ourselves will assume that okay, the starting index is 0, right? From 0 we will start it, right? From 0 we will start with that address. We will start with the 0, right? We'll go for the 0 and we'll get this. Then we'll go for the 1, we'll get this one. We'll go for 2, we'll get this one. We'll go for 3, we'll get this one, right? That is what this iterator is giving. This iterator will give you the cursor. Okay, this iterator will give the cursor and will return the iterator object. Okay, it will return what object? It should return what object? This is the thing which you need to remember it. Okay, this iterator thing. So why I'm telling you, because I'll be overriding this function. Okay, iterator right next. Okay, now coming to the next, what this next will give you. Okay, this next will give you taking this object to this, taking this object to this. Okay, this next will give you the elements. Okay, for the first time it will give you 1. For next time you will do it, next you will do it. Okay, next of object you will do it, next of object you will do it, you will get it 2. Next of object you will get it 3. Next of object you will get it 4. When you tell it as next of object, again you will tell it as next of object, you will not get it. You should not, there is nothing, right? So at the time what you need to get it, you will get it out of bound, right? Out of bound or something like that. You need to print the error, right? You need to print the error. So this is what I want you to do it. Okay, so sir, without for loop can I use only this one, itr and next? Yes, you don't want to use for only. Okay, you can use itr and next. Got it? So when I use the like program, you will get to know the overall the concept, how it is actually be done. Is there so much you understood? So much you understood the concept? What are you gonna be doing it? Okay, so there is something called as an object. Object doesn't have an index. To give an index or to iterate it, right? To iterate it, I'll be using what iterator, right? So maybe like the iterator, you have two magic function. One is iter, other one is next. right? Even for loop, okay, for is also acting like a for each, and same like a Java, right? So if you want to access anything in the object, you will be using the for loop. What this for loop is invoking, the for loop will invoke two magic methods. Whenever you write a for loop, it will invoke two magic methods. One is iter, other one is next. Okay, so yes sir, the magic method in the sense like you will be having underscore 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 and underscore underscore. Is that okay? Yes, shall I continue? Any queries? So much, any queries? Any queries with so much? No queries? Good to go? That's fine then. Okay, I will come here and I will tell it as yeah, I'll tell it like this. Right? Give me a it's already open here. All right, let me close the force. Quit. Okay, so what I gonna do it? Okay, so I gonna be opening the file which was recently open. Okay, I'll go here. Okay, so as I was doing this, okay, so all of a sudden they like so once more. I felt like okay, let me do it when Sukesh is coming. Right? Okay, look at this. Okay, what I'm creating here, guys, I'm creating one object here, right? ABC. I'm creating an object over here, right? In a constructor, I'm passing what? A list, right? A data I'm passing it. Okay. So I want to create a class. How do I create a class now? How to create a class now? I'll just tell it as like class. I'll just tell it as a class ABC. I'll create it, right? Here it is going and assigning one value, right? So I want to create a constructor now, right? Default constructor doesn't work, so I'll need to construct a constructor. So def, I'll just tell as init, right? Init I will tell it. So I'll come here and I'll tell it as s and I'll tell it as data, right? So what I do it now, I'll just tell as like s dot data. I'll create an instance variable and I'll tell it as data. So much is done, guys. So much is done. Right, guys. Right, so abc is called, the object is created and this data is gone here and data is saved in the instance memory. Okay, so much is well and good now. Okay, now what I need to do is I want to override two methods. Okay, one is def uh, iterator. Okay, one is def iterator, right? So I'll just tell as like pass. Other one is def underscore underscore. What is that? Like what is that? Next, right? Next method. So this two things what I need to do it. I want to override it, right? I want to override this two methods. Okay. So now coming here, guys. Okay, coming here, what I need to do it. Uh, look onto this. Look onto this. If I run this program, okay, for example, if I run this program, okay, if I run this program, okay, so I have a here. A is an object, right? I cannot write it for I in a, and I cannot write it I like this. Can I write it like this? I'll be getting like this. Okay, type iterator return none iterator of a type none type. Okay, so right now the iterator is whatever the iterator I have in that object, it is empty, right? So I want to design it. Okay, what I need to return it iterator. Here I want to return the object, right? I want to return the object in the iterator, right? So I'll come here, I'll just say it as like this. Okay, so I'll simply tell in the iterator retur and return yes. S is object, so I will be returning the object. So I'll come here and I'll tell it as like this. I'll tell it as like this. I'll just tell it as like for I will just tell as like a. I'll just tell as a. I'll just tell as like what do you tell it like a for iter of a I will tell it, right? So what is this itr of a is returning? It is returning the object, same kind of object is returning it, but it is an iterator kind of object. Okay, so which will be iterating it. So to know that it is an iterating kind of object, I need to have one variable to hold the like indexing. Okay, I want to have one variable to hold what? The indexing. The indexing where I'm starting from? I'm starting with 0, right? A iterator object, it should return iterator object means I want to assign one variable inside this, right? I can even assign in the constructor, but according to the program we can go for here. Okay, we assume that okay, we will be creating that variable in the iter. They have written separately. Okay, so now what I'll do it, how to assign one variable in the instance. I'll just tell it as s dot. I'll create it s dot, one variable I'll create it. I'll give a name called as cursor. Cursor equals to 0. I will tell it. Is that okay? Is this okay? Till here it is okay? Till here it is okay? Just confirm with me. Till here any doubt? Till here any doubt? Okay, so what I'm doing it, I'm going for the program. I'm going for the program. Look on here. I'm telling it as a is equals to abc. I'm telling it a is equals to abc. I'm telling it. I'm telling it has one list 1 2 3 4. I'll tell it. So I'll open this and I will close this. Right. So here you have an address, and I will give this a to next of a. Okay, this is a magic method, guys. This is a magic method. So not to worry about this. Okay, I itself need to pass it for the next. Okay, I itself can pass like this. Sorry. Not next. It is nothing but iter. So I want to give the iterator object, right? So I'll just tell it as like this. Look on here, guys. What I'm doing here is like I'm overriding this method, right? So look on here, iter iterator. Look on here. I want to pass the iterable object. Okay, I want to pass the iterable object. I'll just tell it as like a. I'll pass it, right? It is the iterable object, right? It is a iterable object. I will enter this, but what happens when I go there? It is nothing but what? It is overriding what? Overriding iter, right? Overriding iter. So to know that, okay, this function itself I'm calling it. Okay, so I will write one line for your understanding. This is just for your understanding. I'll just tell as like print. I'll just tell as like this iter, my iter. Okay, I'll just tell as my iter. I'll tell it, right? So I'll run this program again. I'll run this program again. So I'll tell it as like this: a is equals to abc, and I'll tell it as like this: 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. I'll tell it, right? I'll tell it as like this, right? So when I tell it as iter, what I'll do it, I'll just tell it as like a. So what happens? It is invoking my iter, right? It is invoking our iter, right? So you will be having a cursor over here, right? You will be having a cursor here. What this next will return, guys? What should next will return? You should always return the next value. Okay, for example, when I tell next, okay, so I have created so much now, right? So I have created a is equals to abc. I have created, and inside this I have 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? For this, wait a second. Oh, okay, for this what I need to do it, I have created something like this, right? So I have created something, how I created, what I created it. Okay, so this a is given to a iterator, iter, right? For iterator I need to give a iterable object. This is a iterable object, so I'll write as a here, right? This variable I'll save it into one variable. This, whatever the address I will be getting it, I'll be saving that one into next one to x variable, right? Now in this x, okay, so when I tell it as next of x, okay, when I tell next of x, okay, I need to get output called as 1. When I tell it as next of 2, right, I need to get an output called as 2. I'll tell it as next of 3, sorry, next of x, okay, I'll just tell as next of x, I need to get it 3, right? I'll just tell as next of x, I want to get it what? 4. I'll tell it as next of x, I want to get what? Error. I want to get what? Error. So this is the way I want to design it. Okay, this is the way I want to design it. Now tell me how I can design it. Okay, this much, so much I want to design it now. Like this, it need to behave it. Okay, like this, it need to behave it. How can I design this? Think about it, and please let me know about it. Very much easy, very much easy. Like think about it, how you can design it. I want to design it. Okay, you have one variable which is holding the cursor. Look on here, maybe like you have 1 2 3 4, right? You have s dot cursor. Okay, you have s dot cursor is equal to what? 0, right? S dot cursor you have 0, right? This is nothing but s dot data, right? This entire thing is called as s dot data, right? You have the indexing over here 0 1 2 3. Okay, for this list you have the indexing, but for the object, entire object, you don't have the indexing. You cannot access like that, right? Now how do you access this value and how do you return this one? How do you do that? Okay, I want to return like this: s dot data, s dot data of 0, right? This is what I need to tell it. Okay, when I tell it has like next of x. Okay, next of x, this is what I need to tell it. Okay, when I tell it as next of x, next of x, this is what I need to do it as d of data of 1, I want to tell it. Okay, when I tell it as next of x, I want to tell it as s dot data, s dot data of 2, I need to tell it, right? If I tell it as like next, I'll tell it next of x, I want to tell it, I'll tell it as like s of data of 3, I want to tell it, right? When I tell next of x, I want to tell it as error, right? This is what I need to tell it here. You understood this? So what I want to do it, so I want to return this. Okay, this is nothing but 0 1 2 3. This is nothing but cursor, right? In place of this one, what I need to save it, I will save it s dot cur, right? Each time I want to increase this s dot cur plus equals to 1. Each time I want to increment this. So this line, you know it, why why I'm doing this, because this is how it is incrementing it: 1 1 1 1 1 1, right? So what I need to save it, so this line should be written something like this, right? S dot data, s dot data or s dot cur, right? Like this I'll be writing this controls the index 0 1 2 3 4, and this is nothing but a variable, right? And I want to return this. After this, I want to write, I want to increment this s dot cursor equals to 1, cursor plus equals to 1, I want to do it, right? After this, I want to return what? retur, and return what? This data I want to return it, right? So that I'll save it in one temporary variable. I'll tell it as t and I'll tell it as return t. Got it? So this will be my first line. This will be my first line. I hope you got to know why this first line is. I'll be repeating it. So this is nothing but s dot data. This is nothing but s dot data. I want to tell it as 0. Of 0, I want to tell it. If I tell it 0, I'll get it 1 here, right? I'll get the value called as 1. So this 0 is holding by whom? S dot cursor. So I'll write it s dot cursor. And this data, this 1, I'll save it in t. This inside the t, right? And next line, what I'll do it, I'll increment this cursor for the next value, right? I need to get this value also. Next time when this person will tell next value, I want to return, I want to behave like this, so that here it is incrementing it. So what I'll do it now, I'll increment by 1, right? Now what I'll do it, I'll return this t, right? So for a user, it will return this one t as 1, right? Next time what I'm doing it, next time I'm doing next of x, right? Next of x, I am coming to here, coming to that method, and I'm doing that s dot data, s dot data, s dot cursor is what? S dot cursor is now what? It will become 2 now, sorry, 1 now. From 0 it will become 1 now. It will go for 1 and it will tell that it is nothing but 2. So 2 is saved to whom? T. Next what I'll do it, I'll increment this one. This will become what? 2. And I'm returning t. T is nothing but what? 2. So I'll tell it as 2 here, right? I'll tell it as 2 here. Again, I'm coming to here. Again, I'm telling next dot x, next dot x. Again, it is calling here. It is telling that s dot data. S dot data is nothing but this one. What is the s dot cursor? Cursor is nothing but 2. So it will learn s dot data of cursor is nothing but 3. This data is number 3. It is giving to 3 to t. And again, I'm increment this one. I'll tell it as like 3 here. Right? This is nothing but what? Plus 1. It is nothing but 3. I want to return t. What is t value? T value is nothing but 3. So this will return 3 for you. It is returning 3, right? So again, I'm calling next of x. The first line, what should be? It should be telling this. Okay, I want to tell that s dot data of s dot cursor. Cursor is nothing but what? 3. It will go for 3 and it will return what? 4 to me, right? It will assign t to 4, and again it is incrementing. This one will become 4th index, and it'll tell that return t. Return t is nothing but what? 4. So I'll return 4. When I tell next time, okay, when I tell next time, okay, it should not to happen like this. Okay, if it is happening like this, I'll get an error, right? I need to write one condition, guys. If condition, I want to write it. That is one thing which you need to remember it. If this condition is true, you need to write it, or else you raise an error, you know how to raise an error, exception error, right? There's so much things I want you to know it. That's it. So those are the things, entire thing I want to know about it. Okay, now what I'll do it, I'll come here, look on here, I'll come here. So what I need to do it, first thing what I need to do it, I'll let as s dot data, of s dot cur. I'll tell it, because at the first time cur is nothing but what? 0, right? I'll be saving into one variable, right? I'll be saving into one variable t. Okay, now what I'll do it here, I want to increment that cursor, s dot cursor plus equals to 1. I will tell it, right? Each time it is incrementing it, guys. Each time it is incrementing it. Later on, I'll just tell it as return return t. I will tell it. That's it, done. Right? Return t. I will tell it. Okay. Now, if I run this program, okay, for example, if I run this program, right? If I run this program, what happens? Okay, so I'll tell as a is equals to abc, a is equals to abc. I'll tell it as 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll tell it, right? So what I'll do it now, I'll just tell it as like iter. For iter, what I need to give it? Iterable object, right? What is this iterable object? Is nothing but what? A, right? So I'll tell it as a here, and I'll tell it as x is equals to like this, right? It is returning the iterator object. So if I iterate as x, it has the object, right? Now what I will tell it, I will tell it as next of x. I will tell it next of x. I will tell it. I'm getting 1. Next of y. I will tell it. Next of x. I will tell it. I'm getting 2. Next of x. I will tell it. Next of x. I will tell it. I'm getting 3. Next of x. I will get it. X is nothing but what? Like this. Okay. Next of x is I'll get it 4. Next of x. I will get it. What I'll get it? I'm getting an error. What is the error I'm getting it? Index error, list index out of boundary. Okay. For same thing, I'll just tell as like for I in a, I will tell it, and then I'll tell it as I here. Can you see this, guys? It is calling my function. Okay, my iterator function. This for loop is calling what? My itr function, my next function. It is going here 1, 2, 3. It is printing it 3, 4, and last it is printing what? Error. Right? Lastly it is printing what? Is that okay? Is that okay? But I want to raise my own error, guys, here. Okay, I want to raise my own error here. Are you getting my point? I can raise my own error. How to raise my own error? Okay, how to raise my own error? How to raise my own error? Right? I want to do some condition here. Okay, I want to do till where, guys? I want to do till only 4. All right. So when cursor reaches 4, I want to stop it. Okay, so I'll just tell that like if c dot cur, okay, c dot cur is less than 4, right? Is less than 4. Yes or no, guys? There are 4 elements. For this example, there are 4 elements. I want to reach till 4. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? C dot cursor is less than 4. Yes, guys? Yes, less than 4. This 4 I can write it like this, guys. This 4, instead of 4, can I write it like this? Length of h dot data. So that will be generalized now, because if I change your data, okay, because if I change your data 5, 6, 7, it cannot be 4 always fixed, right? It can be anything, right? So now what happens? It will be more easy now, right? C dot cursor is less than length of length of length of s dot data, right? If it is so, then you do this operation. Else what I need to do is I'll come here, I'll just tell that like else what I need to do is I can raise an exception. I can raise exe Okay, I can raise the exception telling that, okay, I will die. Okay, I will die. Simple thing. Okay, my own exception. Okay, my own exception. So what I'll do it now, I will run this program. Okay, I will run this program, right? So I will run this program. Let me check it out how it is going to be. Okay, now what I'll do it now, I need to create that object. I have already created an object. Okay, so sorry, I'll treat it as a. I have created already object. I will pass the iterator for this. Okay, I'll give the iterator. Sir, without iterator can I do it, sir? Without iterator can I do it, sir? No, sir, I cannot do it. Okay, name C is not defined. Name cursor something, I guess. Name oh, okay. So wait a second. Not this error is supposed to come. So when I tell it as like A, I have it. I'll just tell it as like next of A, right? When I tell next of A, I cannot do this because ABC attribute has no attribute called as cursor. This cursor should be given by whom? ITER itself, right? So what I'll do it now, I'll tell it as like X is equals to ITER. I'll tell it ITER of A. I'll tell it, right? So it is created now. So I'll tell it as like next of X. I'll tell it next of X. I'll tell it again. I'll tell it as like this. Next of X. I'll tell it. 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 Oh, next of X. I'll tell it. Next of X. I'll tell it. Next of X. I'll tell it. After that, after seventh value, it is getting you what? Exception telling that I will die. Who's created this exception? Who have created this? We have created it. You can do it, nothing to worry about it, right? So condition, like like when it is failing it, you're supposed to come there, right? So that's the reason I'm writing it. Condition is everything, right? So it's all about the boundary you're setting it. So I'm setting the boundary. Okay, boundary se bahar ja raha hai, so I have to come outside. How do I get to know? By condition itself, right? By a condition itself, I will get to know about it. Got it? Got it, guys. So just one thing I wanted to explain it, that this for loop is overriding this method and this one is overriding this method. That's it. That is what today I want to explain it. Okay, nothing else I want to explain it. Okay, length s dot data plus one, Nasser less than operation. Right, this length will return 0 1, sorry, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. It will return 7, right? That means still sixth index itself we need to work it, because the cursor is starting from 0, right? 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. There is only what 7, right? If 6 is less than 7, that's okay. So 7 is less than 7, condition should be false. It should come outside, and I will raise the exception. Is that okay? No, without exception you cannot write it, ma. Without exception you cannot write it. Okay, without condition you can write it something like this. Okay, if it is without that, how you can write it is something like this. Okay, I'll come here. It is a never ending process then. But if I tell it as for loop, it will be never ending process. Okay, the for loop will never end it. That is what I'm telling it. Okay, so you can write it in other way. Might be something like this: try and catch, right? You will try it. If it is finding the exception, then I will go for it, right? If it is finding the exception, I will go and I will raise it. Getting my point? Okay, like that I can handle this exception. That's it. Okay, take down. Okay, so only thing I want to know what iterator. The Python doesn't have the indexing. This iterator and the next are the reason to iterate it, to traverse it. Okay, these are all the two things which are used to traverse it. We used to traverse it. Okay, any other queries you have it? Just take it down. Just take it down. An iterator is an object that contains a countable number of values. Okay, an iterator is an object that contains the countable number of values. Okay, for example, guys, look on here. You will take a lift, right? You will take a lift. Okay, you'll take a lift. How do you go for it? Maybe like you have like 4 floors. Okay, you have like, look on here. There's a building, right? There's a building, right? You have 4 floors. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? You will start from zero. Okay, you will come to here. You will start from zero. Right? The lift will go here in the zero. It will start it. Okay. Then it will go for the first one. Then it will go for the second one. Then it will go for the third one. Whether it will go beyond that, right? If it is going beyond that, then you will go for the like heaven. Right? It will stop it here. Okay, that is where the condition comes. Till 4th floor, you have it. After that, it is nothing but exception. You cannot go for it. Got it? Got it? Your lift is acting like a iterator now. This lift is acting like a iterator. All right, giving supply next, it will go for the next method. Okay, you will press the button. Okay, first floor, you will go for first floor. Second floor, it will go for second floor. Third floor, it will go for third floor. Right, like this, it is going here. Okay, though lift is a bi-direction, so you can write in the bi-direction way also. Maybe like you can design the program, but it is a iterable is a only one direction. It goes in the only one direction, single direction. Got it? Okay. An iterator is an object that contains a countable number of values. Okay, countable number of floors you have it. And you cannot tell it as like infinite floors. You don't have something called as the infinite floors. Okay, when Burj Khalifa is also having a countable floors, right? In that order. Okay. Technically in Python, an iterator is an object. Iterator is an object which implements the iterators protocol. Okay, technically in Python, an iterator is an object which implements the iterator protocol, which consists of the following method. Which all the methods, guys? Which all the methods? The two magic methods. Which all the two magic methods? Underscore init. Oh, sorry. Underscore iter. Underscore itr. Underscore next. Okay, next. This is how you'll be doing it. Done. Note. List tuple dictionary set string and even for loop. Okay, to iterate through an iterator object, iterable object. List tuple dictionary set string and even a for loop to iterate through an iterable object. Okay, whereas in for loop, whereas in for loop creates an iterator object and executes the next method for each loop. Whereas in for loop creates an iterator object and executes the next method for each loop. Okay, where iterable object will return always a iterable object. Itr function, itr, you write down itr and you write down it always return an object, and next it always returns the next item in sequence. Itr will return always a object, iterator object, it always return the iterator object, whereas next it will return the next sequence. It will return what? Next sequence. It will return what? Next sequence. It will return next sequence. It will return next sequence. No, for loop is something which is acting on the indexing. Okay, in C language, it is acting on the indexing. Okay, whenever the object-oriented concept comes, at that time it is invoking it. Okay, that for loop is different and this for loop is different. Got it? Don't confuse with that. Lambda function shall I do it now itself? Understood iterator? Any queries in the iterator? Okay, you need to know the idea behind this. Okay, what is this ITR? What is this next is? What is this next is doing it? Okay, that's the reason I have introduced this. Okay, if you understand this ITR and next, what is it doing it? That's more than enough for you. Okay, now shall we do it lambda now? Take your call. Take your call. I want to do. No problem. Okay, I'll do it evening itself. Lambda map and filters, everything I'll do it evening. Okay, or else I'll do something like this: a lambda filter that is everything. Now, when I do numpy, I will do it that time. Okay, while I do the numpy, I will do it at that time, because at that time I think I'll be making use of it. Okay, before starting the numpy, I'll be doing those things. Okay, yeah. Even for them also, I want to explain it. What is lambda? What is that? This everything. Okay, okay. Then today evening you will be not having a class. Uh, we'll see from fifth onwards, right? Fifth onwards, we will have it. Fifth onwards, when they come to the class, we'll have it. All those things. Okay. Okay. Fifth tomorrow itself. Okay, tomorrow evening 8:30. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow evening 8:30 then. Okay, today the class is done, and congratulations, you are completed with the Python. And in short, you will be having your like mock. Okay, a mock interview kind of thing. Okay, maybe like you will be spending with me like 45 minutes or 1 hour. Okay, so let me know when you are prepared. Maybe like within 15th, I'll be taking the mock. Okay, after the mock, I'll be giving the certificates. Okay, how the performance in the mock, and depending upon that, you will be having the certificate. Okay, the topic for the mock is till today, whatever I did it. Okay, from the day one, November 1st to November 1st or October 26th, we started it. October 26th, right? From October 26th to till today, whatever I have discussed it, like you need to be going through that. Got it? I might ask any of the question. Okay, neatly with the block diagram, I wanted to explain everything for you. Is that okay? That's enough. Like three topics is there, like lambda, map, and filter. Okay, this will help you in the numpy. When I do the numpy, even that audience also I wanted, those who have registered for the numpy. Along with them, I'll be doing it for you. Okay, see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. And thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. So need some time because schedule is fully packed up to the December 30th. All exams. That's fine. You might be getting certificate late then. Okay. I'll stop the recording.